Hi beauties! Today I'm going to show you another paper pumpkin alternative card. So I've got some pumpkin pie, Cajun craze, and daffodil delight ink pads. And then I am just going to cut up these sponges here into 3, so I have one for each color. And then I'll go ahead and link the paper pumpkin from yesterday. So the video was too long, so I needed to break it up into 2. So we're going to go ahead and use this same base, and it looks like it's a crumb cake base. And then I'm going to take the top, and remember the leaves came out from yesterday. And I'm just going to pop those leaves out again, and we'll use those. I just love, love, love these leaves. So pardon my allergies this morning. They are not fun, but I wanted to get this out to you. So I'm taking that acorn, and I'm taking that same chocolate chip ink pad that we used that came in the kit. And we're just going to stamp some acorns here and there. And I absolutely love this little acorn. Oh, I missed a spot, but that's okay. I'm going to just try and re-stamp it with eyeballing it there. And I got it okay. It's still fine, but it's going to get covered up for the most part anyways. I'm just creating a background right now using these acorns, and then I'm going to go ahead and make some other fun backgrounds as well. So I think one more will be good. Yep, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so now I'm taking that same crackle, and I'm going to use that in chocolate chip as well. And I'm just going to ink up the corner and stick that down there, and so I'm going to create a little crackle line. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So as you can tell, I am just randomly putting this together. This is not a card that I've seen. I've just kind of seen a backdrop in my mind, and we're building the card as we go. So now I'm going to take the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to put that leaf, and instead of using that as a top, I'm going to use those cutouts as a stencil. So I'm going to take my sponge, and I'm just going to use it as a dauber and just create a little leaf stencil here. So I'm going to continue stenciling as to where I like it. So you see that little leaf popped out there. Now I'm going to take this oak leaf, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just placing them random in different directions. And I want it to be, I don't want it to be subtle. I want it to have like the actual outlines. So what I'm going to do is, I just went over it because I saw a piece there. But I'm going to now take that third leaf and do the same thing. And so I don't really mind that it's heavy-handed. I actually did it like that on purpose. I could have started off of the side, and I wouldn't have gotten that heavy hand. But if you know fall leaves, you know that they have little dimensions to them where some are darker than others. So that's how I went with that. Now I'm getting out the Cajun craze, and I'm just going to get another little piece of sponge here and start sponging on that other color. Now this one isn't as wet, and I don't have a re-inker for it, so I'm just trying to grab some ink from there. Oh, I'm so sorry about these allergies, you guys. I wanted to get this video up for you, so I had to decide if I was going to go through the allergies or wait until they clear up. So I'm just going to now go back and forth between the two colors and add some more dimension into these leaves there. So you see I'm putting it right back over. And I could have done this all at the same time, but I just, like I said, I'm building this card as we go along. So see how pretty that is? It turns those leaves into a nice little, like fall color. They look like real fall leaves there. So you can add so many different colors. You could do the whites, or not the whites, the yellows, the light yellows and dark yellows. And once we start adding all three colors into these leaves, you'll really see. Now I'm just having a little bit of trouble to line that up, but we got it. So we're going to go ahead and just keep on and add some dimension there. And I just, by the end of this card, I know I'm going to fall in love. Look at that leaf. That is beautiful. So now the one leaf I did do in the beginning that looks fine looks so dull and boring, doesn't it? So now we're going to open up the pumpkin pie and bring some of that color in as well and see how that works. We're just going to rub that on a little bit around the sides here. I'm going to grab some of that Daffodil Delight and stick it in there. And look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty! So, I think we're going to add some more leaves here. Yep. And we're just going to turn them in all different angles. And I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm only going to add a couple more just to fill it out all around the card. And you can see I am overlapping on some of those acorns. I'm not just filling in where the acorns are. So I think as I'm watching this, I think I would probably add maybe some of that grunge, the gorgeous grunge background, and some of those little paint speckles would be cute on here as well. But so now I'm done with the leaves. I'm just going to now take this Cajun Craze and go all the way around the edges just to give the edges a little bit of dimension. And I just take that same sponge and just flick the sides, and it leaves the perfect amount of color. And don't worry about going over anything. I mean, that's what brings it all together. When you have those pieces that are kind of all flecked in with the pieces that aren't, it just gives it one cohesive look. So we're just going to go over the top to finish it off here. And then I look, and I always go over to where I always think the corners need a little bit more. So I give some on the corners there. There we go. And there we go. So I still am thinking it's very nice, but I want to really have it more of a fall look. So I'm going to get out another color here. There we go. And the Daffodil Delight is what I'll start with. Just opening up that there off camera. And I'm going to go ahead and just swirl that around and give this card some dimension as well. So, the crumb cake background is really nice, and I'm going to leave a little bit of spots open, but most of it I'm going to cover up with these colors. And I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm just going to use the lighter colors, and I'm not going to press real hard into the ink, because I want that ink now to be very light and just blend everything together. But you can see all those fall colors just coming out, almost as if the card itself was a giant leaf. So we're just going to lightly rub, and we're going to go over everything with the leaves, the acorns, the card. And there's no rhyme or reason, just going over here and there in spots. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the pumpkin pie. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I just cut off little pieces instead of using big sponges. I just cut little pieces off. That way I can just toss them when I'm done with it and I don't have a lot of ink sitting around. So I think that is cute and looks really good. And now I'm going to take out those squares that came with it. And I didn't realize I was just picking fall colors, but those colors are the exact colors of these squares. So we've got the Cajun Craze I just popped out. This is the pumpkin pie. And then the final one is Daffodil Delight. So it worked out perfectly. Now I'm just going to pop one of these flags out here that match exactly with that Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to line these up, trying to figure out where I want this. And I think I'm going to go a little bit lower. We'll see here. And again, trying to figure out the layout of my card. So you guys know I'm literally making this alternative card on the fly. And I guess I decided not to go lower on this. Just a, I don't know. Sometimes it takes a minute. I don't know why. It's so funny how our minds work. We're just, that's not the exact spot. There we go. That's perfect. So I'm going to leave a little bit in between and space these out with just, I don't even know, 1/8 of an inch in between. Not very much space at all. So I'm just going to go and lay these out as if it were like a gallery wall. So that, I think, comes together well. It's got a nice background on the card. The crackle signs come up and down to meet the squares. Now I'm going to take these dimensionals. I'm almost done with them, but I like to use the sides, so I cut those up. And I'm going to use those on the leaves. So I'm going to pick one of each leaf, and I'm just going to place them on top of these colored squares. And then I'll take the next leaf, and again, they're not going to be all faced the same way. I'm going to turn this one a different angle, and these are just so pretty. And I don't know if you can see it, but these, there you go, you can see there's ripples in the leaves, so it's really cool and textured. So there we go, pretty. And now I'm going to see what I want to use for my card there. Now this one, this is the gold wire, thin wire ribbon, and I did not get this with the paper pumpkin. This is something that I had on hand. It is in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. All of these products you can purchase, and I'll leave the link down below in my description. So we're going to use, let's see, I think we're going to go with that Hello again. I really like that one. It's very versatile. And I can always, like I said last time, you can always stamp hello and then Happy Thanksgiving on the inside, Happy Birthday, whatever you choose. But when you go with hello, you can pretty much know you can use that on almost any occasion. So we're going to go ahead and I decided to stick with the chocolate chip because I hadn't cleaned that stamp yet. And I think that'll still pop out and be nice. So, alrighty. I'm still looking for my chocolate chip ink pad. I don't know what I did with it. So we're just going to center that there. And then I'm going to take that gold and I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers there. And it's going to go just right around the back here. So I'm just gathering it. I don't want it to be perfect. So I'll stick some tape down just to give it a place to stick. And then I'll just kind of put it on there. Again, I don't want it to be perfect, but this long string is not going to work. So I'm going to pick this long string up if I can and just start sticking it to where I think it looks good. So if there's a piece that I really don't like, I move it and re-stick it. So that looks good, and now I'm going to take this hello banner and I'm going to cut a longer piece. That way it'll go all the way across the back. That's what I do like about the edges. You don't have to wait until the end for you to use those edges either. Sometimes I cut them right in the beginning of the pack. And there you go. I just think this card is super cute. Now we're going to add some of the sequins on here. And I just love these fall colored sequins. Really pretty. I'm going to grab out my fine tip glue. And it's not coming out, and I don't want to really give it a lot of pressure. So I just kind of pull it and see if there's any glue that's making it, you know, stick. And that seemed to fix the problem there. So I'm just going to add, I always add 3 first. And then I go back and see where I'd like another 1 or 2. So I go with the odds. So we're going to do 5 there. I like to either do 3 or 5, 7, just depending on how big the project is. So here we go. This is always a game, but it usually takes less than 3 tries. So I'm just going to lay those out. I don't need all of them. But I like to have a variety, and I can see which ones are sticking up straight. So I just dump them all in there and put them away later. So I grab one of each color that I'm going to use on here. That one was flipped backwards, so I always like to have them flipped a certain way. I don't know. That's just me. Tell me if you do the same. And then we'll stick one here, and that final like copper color, I just love it. And there we go. So I think that's all we need. That gave it a little bit of pop there. And there's my card. Alright, beauties, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you later. Bye!